Let's get into Bitcoin here and flip over to the charts. And what we could see on Bitcoin here, Bitcoin is not really doing a whole lot, frankly. And again, a little disappointing for Bitcoin bulls here because
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
again, here you have a stock market that's trading up again on the day, and Bitcoin is up a little bit, but it's struggling. I mean, this pivot line here at this 61-ish level is just keeping it on the under wraps. And I think the biggest risk we have on Bitcoin is if the stock market rolls over and collapses, right? If that happens, Bitcoin's in trouble. We saw it on the last big drop. And right now, the stock market, again, flipping back to the SPY, the stock market is not only in the triangle of death, but it's actually pre-market above that. So it's even more overbought in the short term. And again, just any sort of small pullback, let's just say it's even a small pullback on the S&P, it does make Bitcoin vulnerable for a pullback. So the key is this: if Bitcoin can close above this trend line here at currently around 61,000 and confirm, I then think it has that upside bias to get back to this 68, 69,000 level. If not, and especially if the stock market rolls over, watch out below. This thing could really start taking a beating again. Solana, folks, again, Solana had this great big move up. I unloaded our long and smart money crypto right up in this range. We took our profits. So far, so good. The concern on Solana is that it's had a big reversal move. All right, so we're going to get into some nitty gritty here on education. See this candle here? This is what we call a wide range green candle. So notice how big it is, right? Big, chunky, long green candle. When you look at the bars, you have 1, 2, 3. Notice how on the third bar, it closes below the green portion. That negates the power of the bullish move when you get that. All right, that negates any inside bar bullish consolidation. Then look at what's happened since then. Small green, small green, small red, small red. Notice how these are all inside of this red candle. That means the bearish flag pattern is intact. So on a very short-term basis, Solana is making a small bearish pattern. Now, if that bearish pattern were to negate, you would need to close above the red of this candle in the upper areas. We'd basically have to get above, on a daily closing basis, the 154 level. But again, my point is that these candles tell us something. Every candle can potentially tell us a probability shift. And I think, again, as you take the Winning Trader series, as you study that more and more, you start to get these little nuances that really do help you understand what is the probability of the move. Based on where we are, what's the probability for the next, couple days to week? What's the probability? And to do that, you would go, if let's say you want to know, well, what do we think about the next month or two? Well, go to your weekly chart. All right, weekly charts can tell us that. Right. So if you ask me, okay, well, what's your prognosis for the next 6 to 12 months? I would say, well, as long as you hold this level on Solana around this 120 level, this is all on the weekly chart, choppy sideways bullish consolidation. So yeah, shorter term over the next few days to 3 to 5 days, let's say the chart is weak, but as long as it doesn't get and close and confirm below 120, it's in a bigger bullish consolidation pattern. If it closes below here and confirms, that's where problematic issues arise, right? Then you can actually fail the bullish pattern here on the bigger time frame. So each time frame can tell you something, and each little candle, believe it or not, can really give you insights into what the charts are telling us.
U.S. government Bitcoin sales add to market pressure, but analysts argue these sales are insignificant. Bears, however, ensure the market feels the impact. Bitcoin dropped to $57,816 on August 15, following the U.S. government's largest BTC transfer of the year minus 10,000 BTC, $581 million, sent to Coinbase, increasing selling pressure. Analysts note that bears used the news of the U.S. government's BTC sale to drive down the market. triggering a familiar risk-off reaction. Previous U.S. government transfers in 2024 led to similar outcomes, with BTC prices dropping around 5% within 3 days of the transactions. Germany also sold off its BTC holdings, missing out on $124 million in potential profits as BTC prices rose shortly after the sales. Despite the sharp market reaction, analysts like Axel Adler argue that the actual sales by governments have little impact, with market sentiment and actions of large players playing a bigger role.
Let's continue on to gold real quick here. Gold is, and this is interesting. Gold was actually rallying early, and then on this data, people said, well, why the heck am I holding gold when, the markets are risk on, baby? This economic news, and I'm being somewhat facetious here, but, the retail crowd is saying, hey, this is great news. Even the talking heads on CNBC, hey, this is great news. We're seeing good earnings from Walmart, even though, cough, cough, people trading down from higher end retail to Walmart. And by the way, I go to Walmart even now. I mean, prices are so insane. I go to Walmart sometimes to do my shopping. So I want to be clear on that too. But then you also have economic data like jobless claims, which normally don't matter, but last week and this week now they do matter. Those came in a little bit better than expected. And obviously retail sales. Again, retail sales is tricky, right? Because on retail sales, you have to ask yourself, well, let's look in depth. All right, retail sales headline number is good, but the question has to be asked, well, let's look at delinquency rates on credit cards. Oh, wait, those are spiking pretty dramatically. Let's look at car loan delinquency. So my point is that people are putting money on credit cards. The problem is they're not necessarily paying them off. It's just running balances bigger and bigger. And you can see the credit card debt numbers going bigger and bigger as well. The Federal Reserve actually releases this data on a monthly basis or quarterly basis. But really it's unreported. It's not like it's a headline number. You actually have to go searching for it just a little bit. Okay. In any case, back to gold. Gold under a little bit of pressure here. We have our levels on gold. So level on gold, 2,400 would be support. Resistance would be 2,470. Again, we can continue to follow that. Silver. Now, silver is looking a little bit better here. Can silver close above this level? If it does, we need to see confirmation. If it confirms, you could be headed back up. All right. So again, I think the good economic data is helping silver relative to gold today. And this is the double-edged sword of silver, right? Silver is great when the economy's great, but at the same time, when the economy weakens, gold does better than silver because silver, again, is a partial industrial metal. Taking a look at the oil chart here, oil getting a small bounce on the back of good economic data there after 2 down days. Still nothing going on here. We're kind of literally, I would say we're almost perfectly equidistant from the high end of resistance and the low end of support. And then lastly, natural gas. Can it finally break out above these levels? And I would say it's a big question mark at this point. Looks like we are fractionally above this line, but we got to see. We closed above it yesterday. Can we confirm? Can we confirm with a close over 235? If that happens, we should go to 255. I might even think about shorting it at that level to get up there. All right. So again, that's just your roundup of markets out there. I do want to flip back to the S&P. Let's go to the intraday. Intraday S&P is kind of pausing here, not really much going on. That could be bullish consolidation on the pre-market, so it might insinuate a little bit of early upside when the market opens here in about 8 minutes.
Bitcoin and Ethereum prices dropped following the CPI report, reflecting a broader risk-off sentiment in the crypto market. Bitcoin dropped by 4% to $58,500, and Ethereum fell by 3.8% to $2,630 on Thursday, following the release of the U.S. Consumer Price Index (CPI) report. The overall crypto market capitalization declined by 4.4% to $2.1 trillion. The CPI report showed a 0.2% monthly rise in prices, aligning with expectations and bringing the annual inflation rate to 2.9%. While this was seen as a stable result, it cooled initial market enthusiasm. The U.S. government transferred nearly $600 million in seized Bitcoin from the Silk Road case to Coinbase, sparking concerns about potential sell-offs and contributing to Bitcoin's price drop. U.S. Bitcoin Spot ETF recorded a net outflow of $81.4 million on August 14, with Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC, seeing significant outflows. Conversely, U.S. spot Ethereum ETFs saw a modest net inflow of $10.8 million. Despite the downturn, analysts point to key support levels for Bitcoin at $58,800, $57,000, and $59,000, with resistance near $60,250. A potential 50 basis point rate cut by the Federal Reserve in September could trigger a crypto market rebound. Vanguard's new CEO, Solana, reaffirms the company's cautious stance on crypto exchange-traded funds (ETF), emphasizing innovation and client-focused strategies while rejecting the launch of a crypto ETF. Ramji, a former BlackRock executive, highlights Vanguard's strengths in active fixed income management and commitment to low-cost investments, staying consistent with the firm's core principles. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.